Hi guys, and welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Drayton Park Golf Club. I'm in my swing studio and today's video is all going to be about the trail foot and how it should work correctly on the downswing and into impact. It has such a vital part to play in our downswing, and getting it right can really help you nail your impact position for better strikes, more distance, more consistency on contact. I see a lot of faults with this trail foot, so I'm first of all going to start with, I guess, the faults that I usually see, then the movement I do want you to see, and a couple of exercises that can really help you get this correct, whether it's on the driving range or the practice area, and then obviously out onto the golf course. So the fault I tend to see on the downswing with this trail foot, or some of the faults, is either the foot coming up very, very early, and you can see as that happens, generally what we're seeing is a loss of posture, this early extension movement where the hips are thrusting forwards towards the ball and your body is straightening. Or the other fault I see is often players' trail foot actually starting to move back away from the target. You can see that, and this happens sort of later, just before I strike the ball, trail foot moving backwards. The trail knee never ever really gets to the lead knee, and we tend to see this finish position where almost our back looks in a reverse C position, as if we're tilting away from the target. It puts a lot of pressure on our lower back, and it really limits our speed and power because we don't rotate well enough. So the faults again would tend to be this trail foot coming up very early on the downswing, or the heel of the trail foot actually spinning backwards away from the target, and the player actually therefore leaning and tilting away from the target. So what do we want to see with that trail foot? Well, at the start of the downswing, I'd like it to stay planted. I want to feel that we are pushing down into the ground, maintaining width or even increasing width between our knees in that transition from backswing to downswing. So I talk a lot about centering the hips, and that's what I'm really talking about from here, is we want the hips to get back to roughly parallel to our target line, about center as we start our downswing. You can see that's really maintained this width between my knees. And now what I'm looking for is this trail foot to actually be pushing and rolling, so it's moving towards my lead foot. So my trail foot, my trail knee is moving towards my lead knee. That firmly plants the pressure into my lead side, and it really gets my body opening. So not only is my pressure lead side, but it's lead heel. So we're looking for trail foot to stay down in the transition so we can keep the width between the knees, and now to start to push towards my lead leg. And that really allows me to start to open up my hips and open up my chest, which is a very powerful movement and also a very consistent pattern, because that's going to allow a great rotation of my body to the left rather than the arms flipping away from the body or moving away from the body through impact. So as an exercise or exercises, what I want you to do, the first one is actually hit some shots from impact. So I'm going to get in setup position, impact position. My head's not going to move. I'm going to keep that relationship with the golf ball, but I want to roll this right foot onto the instep, so my trail knee is moving towards my lead knee. I want to allow my hips to open up. I can feel the pressure into my lead heel. My chest is also a little bit open, and you can see my hands are slightly ahead of the golf club. And I'm going to go ahead and actually hit the shot from there, but I'm just going to only make a little short backswing and really focus on this turn on the way through. So it's only going to be a little short backswing, but a very turn on the way through. I'll click so you guys can see the ball flight. It's important to get in your setup position first, so we're not getting ahead of the ball. So set up, head stays over the ball, impact position, right foot's rolled in, hips are open, pressure's definitely on that lead side, and you can see my hands are slightly ahead of the golf club. Little short backswing, and just rotate through. And it should be a good strike, it should be a very low shot, and I wouldn't worry about a slight push. It's, you know, we're not using really any hands and arms action there. It's really feeling like I am rotating my body as quick as I can. If I wanted to square that up, I could probably just angle that club a little bit more down so it'd be closed a little earlier in the downswing, but still keep the rotation. Let's hit one more actually there. So setup position, impact position, short backswing, and rotate. And you can see I'm rotated towards the target, my pressure is lead heel, my right foot, my trail foot and knee have rolled inwards, and that feels really powerful. I mean, that's 128 yards from what feels like the club just gets to parallel to the ground, sort of pocket height, waist height. And then from there, what the second stage is actually to put that into a movement while we're stopping. And this is a great way to learn for most exercises. So we're going to do a very broken down movement. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stop at the top, stop pre-impact. So I've got that trail foot down and then push off the floor. So stop at the top, stop halfway down, trail foot's down to the floor, and push and rotate. The last then step would be to put it into, one of the final steps would be to put it into a movement without stopping, but maybe at slow pace, and then build up the pace of it. So it's a great way to learn a new movement. So I'm going to stop in the transition here, trail foot's down, and I could just do a little pump move and turn and hit. So now we're starting to put a little bit more speed into it. You can see a really nice ball flight, 130 odd yards with a 7-iron from, again, a nice short movement. So I can start to get that sensation of what the trail foot should be doing. Staying down here in that transition and then pushing off the floor, rolling towards the target. That's really allowing my body to open up. The data isn't particularly relevant and it will be a little lower than you would normally see, but nice recipe for a little bit of a draw. Swung in to out, club face a little open, the strike was okay. The loft is a little lower than you'd expect to see, but not worrying about that when you're doing an exercise. It's that sensation, it's that movement first before putting it into fuller swings. So just as a quick recap, what I want to see with that trail foot on the downswing is it staying down, so we keep the width between the knees, and then I want that trail foot, that trail knee moving in towards the lead leg. That really allows my body to start to turn and straighten that I want to see it impact. Do it as an exercise, you'll really get the sensation of what it feels like to create a very powerful impact. After enough time, you can actually put that into fuller swings so you can take it to the golf course. If you did enjoy the content of that video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel for all the other videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5:30. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.